It's the biggest news in the country, ladies and gentlemen. Britney Spears is leaving K-Fed!
Hello, everyone. And I just want to say, first and foremost, Team Britney. Okay? 100%. Team Britney. All right. So, let's just start, okay? So, Kevin Federline decided to write a book about my girl, Britney. And let's see, let us start with his book. The back of his book, the description says Kevin Federline, dancer, father, accidental pop icon. No. I think he tried to be a pop icon for about 5 minutes. It didn't work because people did not like his music. It sucked. His star rose electrifying stages alongside Pink, Destiny's Child, Aaliyah, and more. No, dude, I do not remember you performing on stage at any award show, anywhere, having sold out concerts, people screaming your name because they loved your. No. Pink, Destiny's Child, Aaliyah, yes. You, no. But it was his turbulent marriage to pop superstar Britney Spears that made him a household name and triggered a relentless media storm, reducing him to a caricature in a world that barely knew him. Well, that's kind of your fault, because, yeah, I don't know if I don't know how old you are watching this, but you should try to listen to some of his music. It's really sad. Let's see. Behind the tabloid headlines was a devoted father, fighting for his children and his sanity, navigating the fallout of fame and a fractured family as everything around him spun out of control. From the heights of global stardom to the pain of public ridicule, his memoir peels back the layers of celebrity fatherhood and survival to reveal the man behind the mythology. I truly believe that an AI wrote this, because a man shaped not by spectacle or spotlight, but by love, resilience, and the steadfast resolve to give his kids a normal life. Yeah, that's why you wrote a tell-all book. What you thought you knew was only half the story. Sure, interesting. Let's see here. Oh, interesting. Your reviews, 3.8 out of 5. Couldn't even make it to 4 stars. That's interesting. And yeah, $26.09. I wouldn't pay. You could not pay me to read this book. So no, we're just not going to do that. Okay, so a few of the claims that he makes in his book, according to Google. Thank you, Google. So this way I don't have to actually go and read this trash. I could just read Google. So in his book, Federline claims Britney Spears had issues with substance abuse, including drinking while pregnant and using cocaine while breastfeeding their sons, and that their sons feared her. He alleges they would wake up and find her standing silently in a doorway with a knife, though he states she would leave without explanation. Federline also claims Britney Spears never moved on from Justin Timberlake and that he supported the conservatorship because he believed she needed help to manage her affairs. That's a really interesting way to put, managing her affairs. You mean forcing her to perform in Las Vegas, forcing her to go on tour, taking advantage of her, spending her money, taking advantage of her album sales, benefiting from her hard work. Is that what we're calling managing her affairs now? Really? It's interesting. Speaking of Justin, okay, look at this. Justin Timberlake has sympathy for Britney Spears amid Kevin Federline's tell-all exclusive. Let's see. Carmen Rivers thinks it's despicable that Kevin's hitting her with all these terrible insults and sleazy revelations about their time together while she's at her lowest. It's really bad when the guy that everybody was initially hating has come out and has spoken up for the woman that is the reason why he's being hated. Because now, for all I know, Justin could be lying. He could be sitting back when he's with his friends and there are no cameras around going, oh yeah, I totally think this book is great, blah, blah, blah. But at least he has the good sense when he's talking about this stuff in public to keep his mouth shut and just be like, yeah, I think this book is terrible. At least he got the good sense to do that. I will give Justin credit for that. Okay. I will say this. I actually read and no, I'm sorry, I didn't read. I audiobook downloaded Brittany's book and I listened to it beginning to end and I really feel a lot of sympathy for her. And if you haven't read her book, one of the things that she does bring up is that she had postpartum depression. And it was known back then in the early 2000s, but I don't think it wasn't as taken as seriously as it is today. So she did have postpartum depression, and that could explain, if he's telling the truth about this behavior, then it would certainly explain a lot of her behavior when she was a new mom. As far as him claiming that she saw Brittany, he saw Brittany's figures through drugs. If you will look right here, it says court documents prove that Kevin Federline never saw Brittany do drugs despite the claims that he made in his book. This is called perjury and it is a federal crime. Kevin said that when he and Brittany were married, he never personally saw Brittany do drugs. He said Brittany told him that she did coke once or twice. Kevin said if drugs were a problem, he thinks he would have seen it. Even the alcohol, he said it was not every day. However, Kevin said Brittany always wanted to go out all the time. Yeah, because she was in her early 20s. You don't start wanting to go to bed at 6 o'clock until you're in your late 30s most of the time. So, yeah, of course she wanted to go out a lot in her early 20s. Okay. So I'm getting a lot of my information from this wonderful person called Brittany Stan on Twitter. So if you want to look her up and do some more of your own research, I'm totally getting behind that. There she is. And all that. And let's see what else can we find out. Ooh, let's see here. Yeah. Let's see, what else can we discover? Because I have to say, after reading Brittany's book, I don't know exactly, because some people are saying it was a bad idea to end the conservatorship. And my question for these people is, okay, so she should remain under the control of her psychotic father who was imprisoning her in psychiatric facilities, drugging her, forcing her to work, refusing to let her spend time with her children, all of this because she's having a difficult time now that she has her freedom back. Do I think that Brittany needs to seek some help? Yes. And I just mean that in the utmost respect. I struggle with mental health issues myself. So, yeah. But the problem now, thanks to her father and the people around her, her mother has written a book about her claiming that, oh, I love my daughter, but you wrote this tell-all book about your daughter. Her sister has written a tell-all book about her. And now this guy, her ex-husband. I mean, and her father is just just evil incarnate. So what is she supposed to do? Because now I would say like the usual things, like the things that most people use when they're having mental health issues, Brittany could do that, but it's a lot of, I would say, trauma attached to that. You have to think about it. She was forced to a psychiatric facility by her father. So I doubt she's going to want to go back into another one. She was forced to take drugs that were really strong that she didn't want to take. I think she was forced to take them for a while, so it had some negative effects on her psyche today. So the chances of her wanting to take Zoloft or anything is slim to none. And I don't know if you know this, but when it comes to antidepressants, things like that, your body can develop a resistance to it. So also, would something like Zoloft actually work? Would it have any effect? Therapy. She could go to therapy, but the problem is that all the therapists that she used to run back and talk to her father about what she would tell them. group therapy, she has mentioned in her book that she has major trust issues. So that would mean that she would be talking to a group of people about her innermost problems and her fears and everything. And she'd have to trust that this group of people that she's talking to, total strangers, is not going to run out and tell the media and everything what she said. She's kind of caught between a rock and a hard place right now. I feel so much for her. And Kevin, really, dude? Okay. Here we go. Yeah. Yes, here we go. Kevin Federline's child support from Britney Spears started at $20,000 per month and later increased to $40,000 per month in 2018. The final payment was made in November of 2024 after their youngest son Jaden turned 18, which marked the end of the support payments. Okay, so the child support obligation ended when their son turned 18. In addition to child support, Federline was also awarded $20,000 per month in alimony for a portion of their marriage and received an undisclosed state settlement. Dude, you benefited a lot from her misery. Because let's do the math here. Let's just say, like, for argument's sake, I got my little calculator up. Y'all need to see this part. But let's see, 20. Well, let me go to the middle. Because it doesn't specify when exactly it went up to $40,000. So let's just do it in the middle, between the half of in between 20 and 40, 30. So $30,000 per month. So that's 30,000 times 12. $360,000 per year. That does not include, by the way, the alimony that he was getting. That's just for child support payments. And then let's say it went on for about what? 15 years? 15, yeah, let's say $360,000 times 15. That is $5.4 million. This man was making more per month than some people make per year off of Britney. I would think just for that you would have the decency to go sit down somewhere and shut up, but I guess not. All right, so let's see. I wonder. Yeah, why did Kevin Federline need that much child support? Because there are people that raise their children off of $40,000 a year. You had that every month in some cases, and it ended in November 2024. That is interesting that you come out with this book about a year after your last child support payment was received. Coincidence? I don't think so. I don't think that was a coincidence. I think that you are greedy, Mr. Federline, that, in spite of the fact that, yeah, he was working sometimes. He was working as a DJ. That is a fact. And he had a couple of guest star appearances in some TV shows and whatnot. But he certainly was not a pop icon, but it doesn't change the fact that you were getting a lot of money from this woman. Not just for your children, but just for your alimony payments. And so for you to turn around and do this and claim that it's because you care, no. When you care about somebody, when you genuinely care, you talk to them. You don't write books. You talk to them. You come to them in person and say, hey, I care about you. Let's do this, this, this. What is it that I can do to help you? That is what you do. You do not release books, lie about them either in court or in your book. You don't benefit from them monetary wise, taking all this money, and then when the child support payments end and you're not getting any money anymore, decide that you're going to exploit them so you can make more money. You don't do that. I do not believe for 1 second, Mr. Federline, that you do actually care about Britney. I think you care about her money and how much you're going to get of it, but I don't actually think that you care. Furthermore, this man at this point has 6 children by 3 different women. Does that have anything to do with the book? No, but it does, I think, have a little something to say about his character. Because 6 kids by 3 different women? Let me see here. Mr. Federline. To the spouse. Oh, Victoria Prince, congratulations. And you guys are still married. Oh my goodness. Victoria Prince. Oh my goodness, look at them teeth. I'm gonna stop. Because, yeah. I'm gonna stop. Because She could be an absolutely wonderful person. So I'm going to shut up. But I just, mm-mm. He may be an absolutely wonderful husband to Miss Victoria, but he certainly is not doing a good job with Miss Spears. He isn't. In fact, I would say none of the people in her life that claim to love her and care about her seem to care or are doing a good job with her. The only person I think that she said in her book that actually seemed to genuinely care brother. So I don't know what he's doing or what the relationship between them is like right now at this moment. But sir, if you are happening to come across this video, could you please like step it up just a little bit? Because I think your sister really needs you. Yeah, if you are Brittany's friend, she really needs you. Like for real, because I'm just noticing, and I'm sure all of Brittany's fans notice that the people in her life that are supposed to care do not care, and all they care about is her money. So help, step it up. I don't know what's going on in your personal life, but she could really use the support right now because she has so few people in her life that she can genuinely trust. And that's just my take on it. If you agree, great. If you don't, then you all are more than welcome to comment on this video, be respectful, and I will see you all in the next one. Please like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Thank you.